Okay guys, welcome to my first video on how it was like stripping, do's and don'ts, what to expect, how to get started, um, tips, advice. Listen, there's girls out there that probably have made way more than I've ever made. Not saying I was like the best one in the world, but I'm gonna be really real. What goes down, the insecurities that come with it, how management is, which like the pricing, the like if you're like a thicker girl, the like how it will go down when you walk into a club. I guess I'll start with do's and don'ts. Okay, tip number 1, bring your ID. Sometimes you'll need your social security card. Some clubs you won't even need that. You'll walk in and they'll just put you on that stage and call it a day. But that's not my experience. The first club I've ever worked at was a bikini bar. It was advertised to me on Craigslist that they were looking for shot girls and bartenders and door girls. When I got there, I said, I'm interested in being a bartender. I'm 18. Okay. I'm like, oh, I'm interested in being trained as a bartender. Well, that position wasn't available, even though the ad was posted like an hour before I went there. They're like, well, we have an availability for dancers. And I was like, oh, okay. And I see like all these girls sitting around because it's a tiny little bar. There's like one little pole. The stage is like no bigger than a queen size bed. The pole doesn't even spin. So I took a look at it. Like when I walked in, I had like a chevron dress with cowgirl boots on, like barely had any tattoos. At this point, I just came straight from Georgia. I just turned 18. And I said, okay, what the heck? Let's give it a try. So the manager asked for my ID and social, and they took a copy of it. You gotta like sign a contract and everything. And then when you're that young and you're tiny, you don't really have to like do a stage performance. I think the older you get and the more heavier that you are, you'll have to go through some like trials and tribulations of actually getting on the stage and working for them. But I really did notice the tinier you are and the younger you are, you don't really have to work hard to get into any club. And that's just the sad truth of dancing. So I came back and I danced that night, and that club was really tiny. I probably made like 200 to 300 a night, 400, 500 on the weekends for dancing. Not a lot of people do it full time, but I did. I completely did not have another job, so I went there every day. And you get regulars where they just come in to see you. There it was like no grinding in the back rooms. When I first got there, there were doors in the rooms, like a little, like the size of a porta potty, to be frank with you. There was like a chain bar where you have to hold so you don't like actually sit on their lap because it's illegal, because we sold liquor. I think it was like $20 a song, $10 to go back, and they pay that to the house. And then when you get out, you have to pay $5 for dancing on some guy. But you have like, it's bikini bar, but it's like, you know, lingerie, like a bra and underwear. A lot of amateurs at this club because it's not really like a high class place. So here's where I come with my do's and don'ts. Okay, when you first dance, like when I was this young, I didn't know there were any kind of dancer shoes, so I really just went to the store and bought out like typical Charlotte Russe heels. But these are the only ones that have like a good like example. Like, don't wear these kind of heels. This is a big no. Any kind of heel that's like similar like this that you can get at TJ Maxx or just not a professional dancer store. Your feet are gonna hurt. You're not gonna be able to move well. The thing's gonna break on stage. It just looks like you don't know what you're doing. But on the other hand, a lot of guys like girls that don't know what they're doing. Easy targets, if you just want to be honest with yourself. Like the old creepy man that or like the tiny little girls that look like they just came straight from their 18th birthday party. These are not dancing shoes. They will never be dancing shoes. Maybe at the club with your friends, but still, these are like not made well, and you will bust your ass. You can never run. Like, it's just shitty. Like, they're cute. Don't get me wrong. These would look more professional because they do have shoes like this at the dancer stores. But these are not them. Like the soles, it's just like holding paper. Oh, here's one more. Don't. Please just don't. Do get professional dancer shoes. These are the most basic ones you'll see any girl wearing. Paint your toes. Please paint your toes, or wear some black socks. A lot of women that wear black socks because your toes are going to get chipped because you're like on the stage like bumping and grinding. But they're squishy. The bottoms are made so you don't slip. You can actually buy these black pieces at the sex stores. The heel has it. You can buy this piece too. They come together. They're thicker. They're not gonna bend. These are like $80 after a dancer discount, I want to say. A dancer discount is when you go into a sex store, they sell dancer clothes, which could be lingerie, shoes. It won't apply to any like sex toys or anything because that's obviously not what you're going to be using at the club. But you go to the registry, say, I'm a dancer. You can literally just make that shit up if you just wanted cute shoes, to be honest with you. Say, I'm a dancer at, just have a club that you dance at or dance at, and they give you between 10 to 20% off of whatever you're buying. They don't tell you that. They don't advertise that. It's something you just have to know. You just ask when you walk in and be like, do you guys do dancer discounts? If not, keep it rolling because a lot of places do, especially in Tampa, where it's the strip club capital of the United States. Another thing, bring a lock. Okay? Get a lock because you're going to have a locker. And I'm sorry to say, but some strippers are not the most trustworthy. Especially when you have hundreds and hundreds of dollars sitting in your locker unattended, because most locker rooms do not have cameras. So, just a sad fact. You can also wear a garter belt, which will go around your thigh. Like, don't get the lacy ones. Don't get the ones that have a big old heart on them. Get the normal thick band garter belt. Get a rubber band. Flap your money on your thigh. And then you're going to wrap it around. Like, you're going to put a rubber band. You're going to fold your money in half. And then you're going to put the rubber band. This is hard. Put the rubber band around the money. So it'll be like kind of hanging like this on your leg. You can only carry so much like that. And if someone, like, they can't rip the garter belt off your leg, but the rubber band can snap. I'm constantly checking my leg because that's all my money. But if you have a lock, you don't have to carry that much and you can put it in your locker. The theories with this is, though, I feel like some guys are going to be like, there's two ways to think of this. Some guys will be like, ooh, that girl has a lot of money on her leg. Maybe she's a really good dancer. So maybe I should take her back for a dance. Or I can go the other way where a guy's like, you already made my whole salary on your leg. Why do you need my money? Like, you don't need it. But do you really need a lap dance? Like, can we be real? So after I danced there for like a little while, I ended up moving up to Full Noob. I started at a place that, I don't want to say the name. I'll put the name in if I find out I can legally say the name. But I went to a club and it was, I might be big now, but back then I was like 130 pounds. Okay. I'm 5'5", so I was tiny. I don't care what this, like this, you'll hear. I went in, they had like a webcamming thing, and you can webcam while you're dancing and stuff. But the owner, when I had to go in and do my audition, the owner is watching on a camera, and he said, she can dance here, but only day shift. She has to go home at 8 o'clock because I wasn't the baddest bitch in there. Let's just be frank. No, I'm not. I wasn't the skinniest. All the girls were like this thin, had their boobs done, BBL. That wasn't me. I was tiny. I wasn't ugly, but imagine a big fat ass guy just telling you you're too fat to dance in my club, even though you can make money. So there's that. I did dance the day shifts on and off for like a year, and I worked the other club at night. But there came a day where they told me I could just not go down the stage past 8, and I just stayed like to do lap dances, which they told me I can do. But all of a sudden the manager says, come with me, and I'm like, okay. And he pulls me in the office and he's like, you need to go home. I'm a little tipsy, not gonna lie, but I was like, why do I need to go home? He's like, because you're fat and you need to lose weight before you can work at night. And I was like, I'm not fat. And he was like, yeah, you are. You need to lose some weight if you want to come back here. And I was like, well, you're fat. And he was like, okay, but I'm not the one trying to dance on a pole. And I was like, okay, well, you're fat as fuck too. I'm not fat, and you're gonna be missing out. Because I made them a lot of money. But sorry, it wasn't your typical. And a lot of guys come in there saying, oh my God, thank you, like a girl that's more realistic. Because it's not about, it matters about how you look, but when it comes down to it, it's all how you talk to the customers to get dances. Like, you gotta like just butter them up, tell them what they want to hear, make up a fantasy life of yourself, tell them that life story, and then listen to their life story. Like, whatever you gotta do, like, just use what you have. I'm not gonna lie, if you're 200 pounds, you probably can't dance at the nicer places. Like, honestly, you probably really couldn't. It's just, I don't know how to say it. It's just how it goes there. You can go to clubs and literally look at you in the face and tell you you are fat. You could be 150 pounds, and that doesn't even look like much on certain heights. But they'll literally just tell you you are too big. And I don't know how it's legal. I don't think it's illegal. I don't think it's legal, but they do it. They don't give two fucks. And if you don't have tough skin, I don't think dancing's for you. You gotta find something else, because they will literally break you down. Anyways, after I left that club, I went 2 minutes down to this good median. Not a really, really nice place. It's huge. It's famous. But it's not the most, like, they're not that picky. Like, they're not as picky. Like, you had, like, what I weighed was perfectly fine there. Like, actually, like, perfect. The poles were to the ceiling. They had 2 poles. They didn't have the camera thing. I'd get up there, and I just started getting really good at pole tricks. And that was my thing. I danced to, like, hard, heavy metal. I would wear a schoolgirl skirt every day. And at this point, I didn't think I was an amateur. Like, I knew what I was doing. The dances were $10 to go back, and they paid that fee to the doorman, $25 a song. Every $25, I had to give $5 to the door guy. That was like my fee. After that, you can just, it's full nude. So, and it's grinding. Like, you are grinding. They're always like whispering, can you do this? Can you do that? No. Get your money, run. Not gonna lie, there were a lot, let's just say, there were a lot of girls that made more money than I could ever do because I wasn't willing to do. Okay? So that's where it started to piss me off. So they also had rooms with doors, $300 for 30 minutes. If they pay cash, you get, I think it was $240. If they paid card, it was like $190. If they wanted to use their card and they were too afraid to let their card swipe because they were married, they had it covered. It wouldn't show up as a strip club on your bank statement. So wifeys would never find that out unless they're really fucking smart. So anyways, I would usually get them in the room, and then halfway through the room, I'd be like, do you want to add more time? So I was kind of skimping them a little bit. You're at a strip club. Sorry, not everybody's honest. Plus, they were annoying the fuck out of me. Like, always asking in your ear. I'm like, oh, what can you do? What can you do? Blah, blah, blah. And you're not allowed to lie. You can also get in trouble for that. So don't be like, oh, well, you'll see. Like, you'll go to jail. So there's always cops rolling in and out of there, testing girls, like, to see, like, what will happen. Couples. There's couples that do it. I never got busted because I've danced with cops. Because you can tell, honestly. You can tell who they are, and it's just like, if you're just doing what you're supposed to do, you're fine. There's no alcohol allowed because of the full nude, and the laws in Florida, like, you can't do that. Or where I'm at, Tampa. But that's just, I danced until I got pregnant by my long-term boyfriend, and then I had to quit because there's smoking in there. I'm just not trying to do all that. I feel like I'm forgetting something. So a lot of girls are like, oh, I can't dance. That's one of the like messages I got. I'm not a dancer. It's really not about what you do on that pole. It's about how you talk. It's about how you interact. If you're shy, that works for some people, but you can only be so shy because you can't sit there. You literally have to like get up and not like bombard them. You gotta be like, oh, you ready for a dance? The most, have a conversation first. I had so many complaints that guys would be like, these girls are like ruthless. They do not give a shit. If you're really, really gorgeous, it'll work. But when you're like mediocre like me, you gotta kind of work for it a little bit. Sorry, it's just the truth. But you gotta know all your pricing, gotta have the right shoes. Please, you gotta bathe every day. Like, do not come into the club trying to dance smelling like ass, please. We will all know it's you. Also, don't go there trying to make your best friends. Like, none of the girls are your best friend. We're all there to get the same money. And the more friends you make, the less you're gonna make, to be honest with you. There's DJs. You have to tip out the DJ 10% of what you make. You have house fees. So if you come in it's usually before 8, it's free. But then you're there from 8 to like 3 in the morning. If you really want to make the good money, it's between 12 and 3 in the morning on the weekends. If you come between like 10, it's like $10. If you come after like 12, it's like $30. If you come like at 2 in the morning, it's usually like a $50 house fee plus your 10%, plus your $10 house mom fee, which is usually a lady who has everything you're gonna need, like baby wipes, hairbrush. She watches all your stuff. She counts your money. They like sweep the stage for the buckets of dollars that people just throw at you, and you're gonna need help, and you're gonna just have to pay her. If you walk into the club being, I'm not gonna pay the house mom, like, what is she, like, I didn't use her, you're not gonna be welcome at that club. You're not gonna make money, and one day you're gonna need help, and you're not gonna get the money. You also have to tip out the managers like a couple dollars, usually like $7-8. Yeah, so that's about it. You aren't allowed to drink in the clubs. So, I mean, I'm not saying I'm an angel. We used to sneak in liquor all the time because who wants to dance with a bunch of raunchy men while you're like, sober? But if you drink every day, you're gonna get sick and you're gonna start looking old. I don't have anything else besides the shoes, the locker, the friends, the garter belts. Yeah, that's it. Just go in there, be confident, be aware. Do your research. Some clubs, people already know that you have to be 110 pounds or less. They'll weigh you. So if you're 150 pounds, don't even try because you're just gonna. Anyways, I lost my train of thought because somebody just walked in my room. But there's also girls who advertise on their Instagram to get people coming in because there's a slow season. Oh, here we go. Season. Season is the peak of dancing, when you can make the most money, when you expect the most guests. It varies. I only have danced in Tampa, so the season here is tax season. And it's a very short season. It's like 3 months. So my advice would be to work during season and save your money because summer is very slow.